everybody.
Sean Kelly here, Price and Price Group of Sampson Properties, and what are we talking about today?
Today, I thought we would do something like completely unprepared.
Like, get rid of the script?
Yeah, because I didn't.
You didn't do it right.
We agreed that that was like not that great, right?
That's right, yes.
So we do have people asking us what's the difference between, like, why do some real estate agents not silence their phones when they're doing these things? And some, no, really. It's why do some agents like market to my neighborhood and others don't? Is that because they're better? Do they know more about my neighborhood? Do they live here?
Mm-hmm.
And so I want us to talk about that, and it's called farming. Okay. So we're going to talk about farming.
All right, here we go. Okay, so you brought up a couple things in the intro there.
Yes.
Two things in my opinion. So we have no plan on this, so let's going to see how this turns out.
I'm surprised you didn't say maybe more, maybe less.
Maybe more, maybe less.
Okay.
So the first thing is you have agents that will intentionally like farm an area. They'll intentionally pick a specific neighborhood. Yes. And they will just intentionally target that market with all their marketing.
Yes, and it's called farming, right?
Called farming.
They aren't there like books, like real estate books and everything on how to farm a neighborhood?
That's exactly it. Yeah. And then there's another type of agent, which I met one of these agents in an interview. He was one of our mentees. Okay. And he became an agent because he lived in a neighborhood where he saw an agent that farmed all the time. And he was like, you know what? I've been living here for 20 years. I think I can become an agent and I could just dominate this market. That's all I want to do, just this neighborhood. I don't want to go out and sell in other neighborhoods. So there are the agents that are actively farming as a part of their market plan. Okay. And there are those that just live in a neighborhood and that's the only place they want to sell.
We've come across both of those.
Yeah, and then there are those that are like us, that our neighbors are our friends. We don't want them to worry about us selling them, so we will not work in our neighborhood.
We'd be like, it's your friendly Avon lady. Avon calling.
Yeah. So we live in a neighborhood. How many houses do we have in our neighborhood?
We have 19 in our HOA, but then I think there are 30 something in the extended.
Yeah. So and we don't work our neighborhood for that reason. Because,
I mean, not that we wouldn't, we would, but I don't know. When they're friends, it's like
we don't want to.
I don't want to make money off of you, you know.
Yeah. Okay.
Now they're all going to come in and ask us, will you sell our house?
Yeah, okay. So you get it for free.
They'd be like, okay.
They're going to quote you.
You know what? If it's the one giving me vodka and herring, yes.
Okay. All right. So what is the difference? So what is farming? How would you explain farming?
I would say that you're sowing seed, which is you're doing, what do they call them, pop buys? Pop buys, yeah. And bringing like cutesy little like the teacher gift things, and also mailing. Which I like mailing. I like sending okay. Anyway, that's fun. So you're sowing the seed in order to, as the season for the homeowners comes, then they reap the harvest of the seed they have sown. That's how I think of farming.
Yes. So you are 100% correct. So the way that we are taught to establish a farming neighborhood is you pick a neighborhood and you look at it and see how much turnover that neighborhood has to see if it's worth putting, because it's very expensive to farm a neighborhood. True. So you figure out how much money or how many times the houses turn over. Is it worth it to farm that neighborhood and become that quote unquote specialist?
And you do that by, an agent does that by looking in the multiple listing service and gathering all the stats.
History of transactions.
Okay, and then they figure out what's worth their money.
Yep.
Right? Okay.
And the possibility is that the agent could farm the neighborhood and live there. That happens as well.
Yeah.
So
that makes sense. I mean, a lot of people do that.
Yeah. So do you feel like an agent that chooses to farm a specific neighborhood is at an advantage when they go to sell a house in that neighborhood versus another agent? Now we're talking agents with comparable experience. We're not talking somebody who doesn't do a lot of work versus somebody who does. But agent to agent, similar transaction history. Does a neighborhood specialist have an advantage over a non-specialist?
Not without disadvantages. I feel like there are pros and cons to it.
Yeah, I agree.
I feel probably equal.
I feel, honestly, a little bit, they're a little bit disadvantaged. Yeah, disadvantaged. Only because if you specialize in a given neighborhood, and that's where you're used to if you may know that neighborhood and know the ins and outs of what street to go down when school's letting out and stuff like that because of traffic. Right. But as far as like attracting buyers from a larger area and being able to communicate to those buyers with that fresh perspective of what they see. I
Because
feel like there's a
fresh is
disadvantage.
so different than having lived there for a long time. And Tatiana called, so we need to pause this because Tatiana gets my attention. One
Okay,
moment, please.
go ahead.
Pause.
And no Mortgage Minute this week.
Aw, it's okay.
Okay,
so
so
Tatiana.
yeah,
But,
absolutely.
all right.
So where were we? So being able to like have a network of people from a larger area, because people moving into a specific neighborhood, they come from all over.
But wait, you had hit on something about the fresh perspective
Yes.
versus the lived-in perspective, which can be very different.
Oh,
And it reminded me of something
you got an
that I
analogy?
wanted to say.
Okay,
Oh, shoot.
I got a good
I
analogy.
think I forgot. Okay, you
Okay,
do your analogy. Maybe.
So I live in these white tennis shoes. I love my white tennis shoes. I feel like every time I look at them against my dark pants, they're bright and fresh.
Mm-hmm.
I walk into a shoe store and I sit down, and the shoe salesman walks up to me and he sees those white tennis shoes.
Especially when they go to like take it off for you and do everything.
And then I'm like, oh, my perspective just changed and now it's fresh, and these tennis shoes are not that white. So
that's true.
That's one thing, doesn't really work. But if you think about, like, when I walk into a listing appointment, I will ask the buyer or ask the seller to allow me to kind of walk around the house so that I can look at it from a buyer's perspective, because that buyer is going to walk in and see different things than what the seller sees. They're looking specifically for certain items, and that fresh perspective can fit into a neighborhood, it can fit into an area, it can fit into all different.
Also, it's very difficult to keep yourself ethically on point when you live in a neighborhood.
Clarify.
I think that there are things that we would say with
disclosures.
Can you say carnal knowledge of a neighborhood?
let's say behind the scenes knowledge.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
That would, I think, a lot of people, agents I have heard, have accidentally discussed that are not allowed to be discussed.
Okay.
And they talk about their neighbors.
Like demographics and protected classes.
If things come out when you're casually speaking, oh my gosh, my neighbor's over here, blah, blah, blah. And then they sneak in a question, oh, do they, and you're like, oh yeah, they're amazing.
That's a really, really good point.
You give that up.
Yeah.
I
mean, they could even as simple as saying, all the kids playing in the street. Now you've got familial status that's out there. That's a very good point.
He's military, so you feel really, really safe.
Yeah, this couple over here, now there's
Also schools. Oh, my kids just love the schools. We're not even supposed to talk about the school zones. We're supposed to say, please go to greatschools.org.
Yeah.
We're not allowed to talk about that. So I think that can be an issue. Aside from the fact that, well, I guess this would be okay, because you want your property value to be amazing, plus you want to sell the highest for your seller anyway. So that's not going to be an issue. But whenever you know whatever is going on, actually, I am reminded inside here, something just reminded me of something that did happen.
Yeah. Where
an agent did not want to present a lowball offer to their neighbor seller because of what it might do. They knew their situation because of that huge familiarity.
You're saying
they might jump on it.
A buyer's agent, or
the seller's agent did not want to present a lowball offer because of what they knew it would do to their house value.
Okay.
And they were afraid that because of the knowledge of their situation, they might actually take it. Now, they didn't not do it. They did the right thing. But I just feel like it does present some
conflicts of interest.
Yes.
Potentially. Yeah.
100.
Yeah. Yep.
But that's if you live there.
That's if they live there. Yeah. So and also, when, let's say that you're a seller that wants to sell or sell and then move, and you want to have the same agent help you in both aspects. Maybe they don't know the other areas because they specialize in this one.
Yeah, because whenever you specialize, you really spend a lot of your hours in marketing, money and dollars and everything going into this area. And I mean, really, so the contrast to that is an agent not really specializing in one area, but is licensed and has professional relationships with a large area, even in other states. And then they're able to, I think help them
A little bit more, yeah. I mean, that's one of the things because we cover a large area. And we've sold homes in Woodbridge and Manassas and all the way out to Ashburn and Leesburg, DC, Maryland. So we have buyers that are looking in all areas. And you
Even Florida.
Yeah, and you gave a great analogy of shrimp scampi. So let's say so let's see if I can get this right. Okay. So let's say you're a buyer and you're just craving a good shrimp scampi, and you go to look at that. You go and you find a 5-star review for the best shrimp scampi in DC. And let's say you live in Ashburn, and you're like, I'm going to that shrimp scampi restaurant in DC because it's the best shrimp scampi. So they go out there. Okay,
so you're doing it right, but I like what
here we
you're
go.
doing. Okay.
So that buyer comes from all the way in Ashburn to DC for this shrimp scampi. So that buyer specifically wanted something, but that buyer did not come from right around that restaurant.
Right.
That buyer came from way out here because of the strategic marketing of that seller of the shrimp scampi to reach a wide market. As a seller, you want access to a wide market because you want to bring people not only from the DMV, but what if they migrate from California at your price point? What if they come from New York at your price point?
Yeah.
You want to know that.
Want to come here?
That's right.
Seller, you guys have the best place to sell here.
That's right. And there are ways to run the demographics in a certain price point as to where people are migrating from to come to see that property. So.
And we've talked twice about running demographics and researching the stats on the MLS, right? The multiple listing service, and that's another thing I want to bring up is. I don't know if you've ever crafted before. I have.
Yes, yeah.
Crafting takes time.
Yes.
Especially if it's heartfelt. And to make these little things, that takes time that instead you could kind of leverage the technology available because the information that anyone farming has is readily available to all agents, right?
The neighborhood specialists, they just do a little bit of research and it's right there.
Yeah. I mean, they're super cute. I love it. I think it's darling.
So where's the crafting go?
The agents who do the pop buys. It's like little crafted things.
Yes. Okay, I got you.
I thought you were getting my
No, I was following
underlying.
I was thinking you were thinking something like, if you're a carpenter and you like to make like little wood ornaments, you can go to Etsy and have somebody make a bunch of them for you and use technology to get it and deliver it.
No, I was talking about if I'm like making things.
Yeah.
I'm spending time doing this unless I like get my kids to do it.
Yeah.
Instead of like out there leveraging technology to bring buyers in for sellers and to learn and make the relationships with the professionals.
Yes. Great enough. Thanks for clarifying.
I thought it was obvious.
It probably was. Everybody that's watching this, both of you, you probably got that before I did. All right.
And I love these. I'm envious actually. Shame for envy. Of the people getting to do these things and present the little treasure. I love it.
Yeah, you do. As long as it's from the heart.
Yeah.
So what are we talking about? All right. So there are.
We're talking about why do some agents send me all the stuff in my mailbox and some don't? Does it mean they're better for my neighborhood? Does it mean I'm only allowed? We actually had someone ask at a first-time homebuyer thing one time, am I only allowed to sell with them? They were so sweet, but no, that's not true.
Nope. So the advantage to the agent is they pick a specific market and they generate some business from there. But for the seller, is it beneficial? It depends on the agent. If it's a producing agent that is actually working in other areas as well and has that broad market as well as the farming neighborhood, it's great. But if
there is a neighborhood I want to farm just because I think the houses are so glorious.
What's that?
I'm not going to say it out loud.
I can't wait to find out.
If you guys start getting our mailings, I got what I wanted.
That's right.
And that I love your neighborhood.
So anyway, if you have any questions, I know this is kind of all over the place, but
so are we.
That's right.
Which is what you want in an agent.
Versus somebody who's focused.
We're focused also. I mean, we're kind of like the best of both worlds.
All right. If you have any questions, please let us know.
I know we're not going to have Tatiana today to balance out our weird.
I know, it's going to be great. Oh, we get to go into the market, the snack shot.
I'll get my glasses.
Okay, here we go.
Hey, everybody.
Sean and Kelly here, Price and Price Group, and what is this video about?
This is going to be our market snapshot.
Yes!
I didn't even flinch. Okay.
All right, what's happened in the last 7 days in the Northern Virginia real estate market in under 5 minutes? Here we go. Go.
Okay, everybody, that squiggly black line you see, that is our buyer activity. That's how many houses went under contract in our area in the last 7 days.
Yep.
The squiggly blue line underneath, that's the seller activity. That's how many new homes came on the market for sale.
That's
in
right.
the last 7 days in the Northern Virginia real estate market.
That's right, that's right. So as you can see, the buyer activity did have an uptick the week after Thanksgiving, which we kind of expected, and so did inventory, which we expected.
Woot woot.
Look at how low inventory is though. Now, here was December 27th of the Christmas week last year. This is a year ago. So we were here, so our inventory is up just a little bit versus last year. Buyer activity went up as well. Now, buyer activity had gone down during the Thanksgiving week, and it's continued on a downward trend, but I think that's more because of the inventory versus the lack of buyer activity. Because
we're seeing that with our buyers. They're just like, I'm not seeing anything.
Yeah, we've got 3 or 4 buyers right now that are ready to buy as soon as something comes up, but they've gone 3 or 4 weeks without even seeing something that entices them.
Yeah.
So we're doing a lot of calling to try to find off-market properties for them because, just because there's no inventory.
You do really well with that too.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And our brokerage, we have a great process where we can do in-house listings, and we have access to over 6,000 agents, which
and their listings.
Yes.
So they aren't even on the market yet.
That's right.
I love that.
That's right.
One of the things I love about Samson.
That's right. So overall, the market activity has, since September 19th, has been on a steady decline, and that's been fed by the lack of inventory. So buyer activity has followed that down. But the strength of the seller's market has been on a steady uptick since September 5th, pretty much. So we hit a neutral market in September 5th, and then we have just been steadily upticking into that seller's market. So what this means is for sellers, I'm gonna be honest with you, it's almost Christmas. If you're thinking about selling, let's wait till the new year for that, because people are gonna be traveling for the next 2 weeks. But get on the market right after New Year, right after Christmas holidays end, get on the market, because the buyers are sitting there and they're waiting. And there will be a lot of buyers that are going to be traveling over the next couple of weeks.
Or at the very least, hire us specifically or a Samson agent to get your property on that our in-house server that we were just talking about, because you don't have to undergo the showings. You're not going to be live on the MLS. You won't be on Zillow or anything like that. But at least you can get the interest peaked. Right?
Start testing the market, get the interest peak, and so on. Buyers, get out there now. There is no competition. Well, there are buyers waiting, but buyers are going to be traveling for the next 2 weeks. This is what's going to happen to buyer activity. Where is it? Right here. Buyer activity is going to plummet. So this is your chance to get out there and face hopefully just one offer.
Okay, and this man is not just saying this. He puts his money where his mouth is, because do you think I can get him to help me Christmas the house or engage in the joyful holiday spirit?
I am very joyful when I'm working.
No, he's like, no, this is when agents, they're out and they're enjoying their families and they're doing all this and that. I'm gonna hit it even harder.
This is when we serve our clients the best.
Good for them.
So
I love it. It's great.
Seriously, buyers, it is the time for you right now. If you're going to buy in the next 90 days, do it right now, because this is the opportunity.
You'll get your contingencies. You won't be bid up like crazy.
That's right. Now the inventory is low, so you might have to give up some of your preferences. But if you see a house that's even close, let's go look at it.
It's going to appreciate.
That's right.
And you can just sell it.
That's right. That's right.
In the spring, when everybody else is out there waiving contingencies on the house that you want to sell, that you've only been in for a few months, and you can make a lot of money off of it. Okay. I just want it on the record now that in 4 years, when our last one is most likely out of the house, that's what I'm going to be doing.
That's right. All right, everybody. If you have any questions, please feel free to let us know. Shoot us a message, either email us, put it in the comments, like and subscribe.
Please do. I mean, we love that you email us after these, but we'll look better, more impressive if you do it.
Do something in here so that we can figure out how that works. Anyway, all right, guys, have a great week. We'll see you next week, which will be the week before Christmas. And then we'll see how the market's doing.
Yeah, we hope you guys are all really enjoying this holiday.
Yeah,
I'm enjoying it.
Beautiful weather.
He took half of a day off to Christmas with me the other day.
All right, guys, we'll see you all next week.
Bye.